Let's start. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. So, last session we were doing about mindfulness. If you remember, we just completed 2 alphabets in the acronym mindful. Mindfulness is being aware of what is happening within, without, as it is, with acceptance and trust. And the acronym of mindfulness that we saw, so M was for moment to moment awareness. I was for integration of the body, mind and the intellect. N is for non-judgment and newness. So, when we see something, most of the time the mind makes judgments. And these conditioning, psychological judgments and conditionings is what takes us away from mindfulness. It takes us either into the past or into the future. Then we no more relate with people or things as they are. We relate with preconceived ideas which we have about them. And that's where we are not in tune with them. So what happens, whether it is work, relationship, anything individually, personally that I am doing, if I can't connect to the present, my connection will not be proper. So, as much as we can live in non-judgmental psychologically, that much more our mindfulness will increase. Which means what? To keep the mind in a state of freshness, not to allow. There may be an opinion which we may have about somebody. It may arise also, but not to be influenced by that. And to be able to deal with that person as the person is right now, or as the work is or the situation is. That is the mindfulness. Even in parenting this applies a lot. So it is said, before you correct, you must connect. And do I even connect to the child? What the child is going through? Do I see from the child's standpoint? If I don't connect, if I don't validate sometimes what the child is going through, even my correction will not make a difference. Child won't learn. So for example, if the child has done something, let us say a very small child, and you want the child to put aside all the toys, put it properly back into its bag before it goes for play or dinner or whatever. The child feels very bored doing that many times. But do I connect to that child? Do I feel empathetic to the child? If I connect to the child, I may say that, okay, even if you don't do it, we will do it together. You may be feeling alone doing it. You may feel, I know it is boring, but let's do it together and then we go for the next activity or whatever it is. So the child's emotion gets validated. Otherwise one feels, why are you even feeling bored? Just put it inside and come on, let's go. I am not connecting. Whether it's a child, whether it's a student, any individual, employee, anybody. Till I don't connect, I will not be able to get any improvement also which I need. And mindfulness is something which will help me to connect very, very empathetically. So N is for that newness and non-judgment. D is for detachment and acceptance. What does not allow me to be mindful and be in the newness or that non-judgment is my own attachments. Hence, mindfulness is not just about techniques. It is not just about living, that when I am mindful and everything is going to be fine. There will be ups and downs which will happen. I am mindful of all that. But I also understand that my attachment are the main cause of not being in the present. It is my attachment which make me more disturbed. So, the more I am able to accept something as it is, my mindfulness will increase. And the opposite also. The more mindfulness increases, I will be able to accept things as they are. So more on this I will not go deeper because we already did a whole session on detachment. So the first two aspects, moment to moment awareness, integration of body, mind, intellect, doing one thing at a time, bringing the mind into a sense of newness all the time. Those are certain techniques. The next few aspects are about the mindset. So detachment is one aspect. F is for a focus tool. This is also about a technique. Can I have some tool with me which will bring me back to the present? It could be anything. It could be just a rock. It could be my own cell phone. Cell phone is the best actually. Because so many times in the day I keep touching the cell phone. Every time I touch the cell phone, I should bring myself into the moment, saying, be here, be in the now, come back here. Again and again, it can be anything. Whatever makes me, it's just a reminder. You can even set a reminder on the phone. Be mindful. Every 2 hours it will ring. Whatever, some tool just to keep us reminded that I need to come back into the present moment. A lot of spiritual people, they use a mala. So they'll have a mala on their wrist. Every few moments, the mala helps them to come back to the present. Our Gurudev used to have a mala on the wrist. And again, many times he would keep doing the japa. It's a very short mala, so it not even take 5 minutes. 27 beads, 11 beads. So any tool which will help me, it could even be the breath. But breath we are not very easily aware of. Our mind goes out. So one focus tool will help, and when I use that focus tool for practice, in a day as many times I can practice mindfulness, slowly it will become my way of life. U is for understanding. Understanding what we spoke about in this concept of non-judgment. Understanding of people, situations, things becomes very easy in mindfulness. And it also helps me to let go of my hurry, my worries. Because the more I understand my own mind, that's why mindfulness is not about only a technique. Mindfulness is about understanding my mind, why I respond in a certain way, what are my desires, what are my attachments, what are my prejudices. And the more understanding we have, it will also help me to slow down my thinking. One of the reasons why mindfulness doesn't happen to us is our thoughts are just in quantity, there are too many thoughts. And when thoughts are too many, we are mindful of a few of them, after that we get tired. Then they keep happening to us, then we are on an impulsive mode. So when the thoughts go more and more and more in quantity, the person becomes less and less mindful. So those who understand their own selves better, they will be more mindful. Why? Because they have a grip on their thoughts. They have a grip on their understanding, their emotions. They know why they are feeling some things. What are the subconscious reasons? What are the experiences of the past? What are the anxieties of the future? They understand. So the more we understand about our own mind, which means introspection is a very important aspect of mindfulness. It's not only about bringing the mind into the now. Can I introspect every day for 10-15 minutes? And better it is to be done when I am fresh, not at the end of the day. I'm very tired at the end of the day. Objective introspection will not be possible. Possible but not very easy. Mind will get into justifications. So the person who is able to sit and introspect, maybe in the morning, maybe when the mind is fresh, maybe just in the evening after finishing the work, anytime. Just to go through the whole day, how it has been, what have been my motives, what has been my attitude, why did I feel certain things. So our Gurudev used to give us 4 steps. Introspect means to just have as though a march past of the whole day's events. Detect which are the motives which were not appropriate, which are the ones which were positive, which were good. Negate whatever has been not appropriate. When I accept that yes, this thought was not good, this emotion that I felt was not appropriate. And I accept, I don't resist that. And last is substitute. Whatever is a negative emotion, it may be jealousy, it may be anger, it may be greed, it may be anything. Can I substitute the positive of that? It is just like gardening. One removes all the weeds and one puts certain fertilizer or manure. Then the flowers come. So in the same way, whatever are the weeds of the mind, they need to be negated and substitute them with the positive. So if there is anger, there must be, let us say, empathy. If there is hatred, there is some hurt, there must be forgiveness, compassion. Substitute the opposite of that. If there is greed, there should be contentment. So the more I substitute the positive, the more the mind will become healthy, lesser the thought agitations. If you think about it, the creative thoughts don't create trouble to us. Trouble comes to us from our negativities and impurities. And because of those, we are not mindful. Hence, it is necessary to remove those negativities. And one way is introspection. Introspect, detect, negate, substitute. In management, they have a very nice formula. Prioritize, focus, and execute. That is another method to improve mindfulness. I may have 20 things to do. And because I have 20 things to do and less time, I keep jumping from one thing to other. So I can't do even one thing fully. I take up one thing and I feel the third thing is more important. Go to the third one. Try doing that and think the 10th thing is more important. Take up that one. And I feel no, this is to be finished before anything else. Now it is urgent. Take some fourth thing. So the mind keeps jumping. How will it be mindful then? If I prioritize, and even if there are 20 things to do, in my priority list at this moment, this is to be done. I fully focus only on that and just execute. Don't worry about other things at that time. That is another way to improve the mindfulness and reduce the thought clutter. The last one is a concept where people think that if I am mindful, I am very slow. That I can't speed up. So there is a concept in mindfulness called mindful hurry. That I can hurry up also with mindfulness. where I am knowing very clearly, where I know very clearly that at the moment I am in a fast mode. I need to hurry and I am doing this quickly. It will lead to heightened alertness also. But this cannot be a way of life. If mindful hurrying becomes a way of life, very soon it will turn into mindlessness. Person will become inalert. Because our natural mode of functioning is not hurry. So somebody who is mindful will never become incapable of doing something fast. That's a fear many people have. That if I become mindful, I will not be able to speed up anything. That won't happen. Because the person is aware of the mind, person is aware of the need of the hour, person is able to push up the speed when required, let it go when not required. So that is a mindfulness part. Yeah, only for emergencies. Today this is the normal mode for us. For everything one is hurrying. There's no time. Maybe we came to mindfulness class also with a lot of hurry. I have to reach there 7:30 somehow. Left at 7:15 from my house and I reach.
So you said prioritize and then
Focus and then execute. What was the question?
not justifying it, but the pressures, the stresses that one experiences at any workplace today are a lot more than I'm a teacher. When I was a student, it was not so crazy. So you're not on honeymoon without music.
No, there is a valid reason. There's nobody saying no. There may be a valid reason. That's why I said there are too many things to do. Pressure is a lot. But we are paying the price now for it. It's up to us to choose. If you see the way in which we are hurrying is such, suppose in the work front there is a lot of hurrying which has to happen. Of course, there are unreasonable timelines, there is competitiveness, so many things. But in my daily life also, apart from that work, I am now getting used to that hurrying. Very few are those times when I actually plan, do it nicely and comfortably. That urgency syndrome is something which pervades the whole life now, which is what one is trying to avoid. So if 8 hours I have to be in hurry mode, obviously nobody is going to be in hurry mode for 8 hours. In those 8 hours there will be few times where one will be in that hurry mode. After those 8 hours are over, when I come back home, can I let go of that and at least start focusing on those aspects where I can increase my mindfulness? Then we will see how it happens at the workplace also. But today it is happening the other way. My state of hurrying is taking away my mindfulness at other times. Rather it should happen the other way, where I am able to practice mindfulness in such a way that whenever I am in a hurry mode also, I can maintain maximum mindfulness and see when I don't need to hurry. Compulsively now we are in a state of hurry, which is what needs to be avoided. No, it's not exactly the future. It is the pressure of the present only. No? That in this moment I have less time, I have more things to do because I have set this target. So target wise it may be a futuristic thing that okay, this much has to be achieved in this much less time. But really speaking, it is not the future which is creating the pressure. The pressure is coming because the time constraint is there. And I feel that if I can't do this much, then maybe I am not productive enough, maybe I will not be successful. Those are the anxieties. Then I am pushing myself, I am in a hurry.
Once a teacher had told me that students study only when they reach a certain optimal level of stress.
Hmm.
How do you explain that? Maybe you can.
No, that's only because
I think that is what is true for all of us. We function the best when we have that optimal level of stress.
I would disagree on that. It is true, it's a phenomenon that we all go through, there's no doubt. But there is you should put a star there, conditions apply. What are those conditions? Those conditions are when I don't love it, then I do it like that. When I love something, a student who loves, let us say, physics, will never postpone it to the last minute. Will keep on studying it because loves it. When I don't love it, I keep pushing, procrastinating, I say not now, till the last minute somehow avoid. And then till that point, the stress will build. Then there is no choice, so I will do it. So it is true that yes, we keep waiting till that moment when the stress builds up. That is because I don't love doing that. This applies for everything. That's why the last part is this love and compassion. That if I don't love something which I do, I will not be fully mindful enough. They go hand in hand. Love and compassion will bring mindfulness. Mindfulness will increase my love and compassion. May not be in everything it may increase my love and compassion, but definitely in a few things. The more mindful I become when I have love. So I will not do this delaying, this postponing, this pushing. Children love playing. They go happily and play. They don't push it. Adults, we push the exercising and playing and all that because we love work more or we love other things more. So we say we don't have time for exercise. Then the doctor will say, now you have come to the breaking point. Now you have to make the lifestyle changes. You have to do treadmill, you have to do exercise at least half an hour a day. So till then we keep delaying because love is not enough for that exercise. But children will not do that because they love playing. So the same example applies everywhere. When I love something, then I will do it very well. Do it in a systematic way. Give enough time to it. Plan also according to that. One of the reasons why we fill up our life with so many desires is because we don't love a few things deeply enough. So we have many desires. A few things I love deeply enough, that love brings so much of joy. I don't need other things. Think about it. Same thing applies in relationships. I have one or two relationships which are fulfilling to me. Then I don't hanker behind so many relationships. But when I don't have, then I want too many. Or I feel nobody likes me, or I become sad. In today's life, if we can invoke more love in our heart for things, for work, for our own hobbies, for our own swadharma, we will not clutter our mind with so many desires. That is being compassionate to oneself. That let me do what I really love and find out those things. Engage in that. So reverence for oneself, other beings, nature, the planet, everything happens when mindfulness comes. Last time I was telling you about that book, Mindful Eating. So people who eat mindfully, they really develop a certain sense of compassion and care towards the other beings, towards what is it doing to my planet, how is it affecting the whole environment. They really become sensitive, and they have given examples of such people in that. Sensitivity in relationships, all that will increase. That is really mindfulness. It's not about being in the now and doing something with concentration. That is only concentration. Mindfulness is the complete awareness that my action, what is it doing to me internally? What is it doing to the people, world externally? And the more mindful I am, more dharmic I can be. Hence, we find this is the acronym mindful. 7 aspects about mindfulness.
We talked last time about being mindful and doing the one activity and being in that. But sometimes it's not possible to do one. You have to do two or three at a time, like walking and talking. Or maybe get a call and you're walking as well. Or maybe you're walking in the morning and you're in deep thought, thinking about a subject. But you're also, in a limited space doing your physical activity like walking. So how do we look at that?
That is my choice. No? I have chosen that. If I want, I can stop that. That's why it is all about prioritizing and understanding the importance of mindfulness and then wanting to attempt being in that mindful state and see what it does to me. I'll give you one simple example. There could be many, it's just one. Indira Gandhi wanted to have a meeting with J. Krishnamurti. So she took an appointment, she came, and it happened to be lunchtime. So she could not spare any other time. So she had come that time, it happened to be lunchtime. So she asked J. Krishnamurti, can we have the meeting over lunch? And he said, no. We will have lunch and meeting. I don't believe in a lunch meeting. So they sat, they had lunch for 10 minutes and they finished their meeting in another 20 minutes. That was his choice. He said, I don't believe in this. Even if you read Eknath Ishwaran, he will write about that. So many times he will write, so many places. Doing one thing at a time. That's one of his 8 points for a seeker. So his grandmother used to teach him that if you watch TV and you eat, it is bad watching and bad eating, both. You finish eating, then watch the TV. So it's our choice.
Then otherwise we should restrict to one activity at a time.
That's the attempt. Again, emergencies are different, but choice where I can make, I should make. I practice that and I see the benefits. So, from spiritual standpoint, it is very, very, very beneficial.
Can we just thought forward? Jumper and walking or jumper and walking?
In our culture, they always say, sit and do that job. If the mind is so restless that you are not able to sit down, engage the senses, focus, then one says, okay, walk and do japa. Or you feel sleepy, then you say, okay, do. But after some time, that person will be told to sit down, withdraw the senses, repeat the mantra, focus only on that mantra. That is very important.
So what about Mr. Funny question that you go to sleep and you go into the dream world?
That is not multitasking. That's the nature's mechanism of clearing out your suppressions of the subconscious mind and giving rest to conscious mind to prepare you for the next day. That's all. It is not that one is actually breathing and saying okay now breathing is happening and dreaming is happening, and that is not multitasking.
I know of a lady who chants the Gayatri mantra while
Cooking.
her belief is that the vibrations have an effect on the food, and so the food cook is better and tastes very good. So, how does that?
See, none of these anything is wrong or bad. What needs to be understood is the principle that if I want to have single pointedness. I need to do one thing at a time. That mind which is quiet also will produce good vibrations which will affect the food positively. But if my mind is not able to be quiet in and get engaged in cooking and it thinks all kinds of thoughts, then might as well chant the Gayatri Mantra. So these are levels. At which level I am, depending on that, I should apply and keep moving up. Ideal would be to do one thing at a time, just one thing. Very tough it is to do. But one thing, very important. Even if we can achieve that in 50% of our time, that itself is a great progress. And you will see the difference. Earlier we used to do so many things. I used to do a lot of things like that. Put on the television, do the homework, or finish something. But now I can clearly see how the mind is divided. And how much time it takes and how much errors I make. Stop doing that. Do one thing at a time. Finish.
You may reduce the number of activities to one, but when you're pursuing that one, there are lots of other activities or maybe distractions of the mind which do not allow complete attention to that particular function. In that case, how do you deal with it?
So there are two aspects. That's why that formula: prioritize, focus, and execute. One aspect is if it is a genuine concern that okay, this needs to be done. If I need to switch, I need to switch and finish it because I may have not done prioritizing properly. Or I may have to tell myself that when I finish this, I will be able to handle this by 1, 2, 3. So the anxiety for that is put aside by logical reasoning. And the third is I have to just do the practice, saying that this will happen later, focus on this now. They have that saying in English, no? Work while you work and play while you play. Our problem is that when I work, I am in play. When I am playing, I am in my work. Mind is not where one is. And it's the trick of the mind generally. A genuine concern can be put aside by proper thinking, okay, this is how I need to do it. And I will do it when the time comes. Or I have allotted time for it. Right.
It's really true because the mobile is always on us and it doesn't matter where it is. Just now for your lecture and it's on silent. So I know that I don't have to take it because otherwise I cannot concentrate on what you're saying. But during the day, I cannot, I mean, if I'm doing one thing and I don't take it, then that is going to collect up to a whole lot of time. And then when I call a person, maybe that is when it's okay, take the call in 2 minutes, it's over.
No, you take it. While that time, don't do what you are doing. If you can, drop that. Like suppose you are typing an email, replying. Phone call comes, you take the phone call. Stop typing the email. Over. It doesn't mean that you have to finish the whole email, till then the call can't be taken. One thing at a time means that you are switching. Yeah, interruptions are not a problem at all. I mean, that's how all of us work. But typically we are doing that also while talking, and how much, in between that, now that, what is that, hands free and all that has come. A few years back there was that cordless phone. At that time hands free was not there. And so many people used to get neck problem. Because they hold the phone like that and then keep cooking and then keep doing something else and all that. So just at that moment stop doing something else. Those situations where I can practice mindfulness, I should start with those. Don't worry about those where we find it difficult to begin with. Let us start with small, even a few moments in a day, not required long time. I always tell in all my talks, start small and grow big. You should never think straight away I'll do this much. Not possible. Even meditation, if you try, start with only 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Straight away, once attempts 30 minutes and all that, 1 hour, it won't work. So, coming to today's topic is on stillness, mindfulness and stillness. So, mindfulness also can lead us to a lot of stillness. Our Gurudev used to give a very nice quote. When I slip outside, I fall. When I slip inside, I rise. Slip outside means mind becomes extrovert. Slip inside means mind becomes quieter and quieter. This quietude of the mind is actually the goal of life which we all seek. It's the foundation. Not foundation, I should say. It is the very purpose, it's the very objective, the goal which we all seek is that quietude. In different words, we may call it as happiness, love, truth, realization. There are different words, but actually we seek a mind which is totally still, a mind which is completely quiet, where one experiences one's own nature as happiness, as love, as peace, everything that one is seeking outside. Hence, stillness is something we all want. Some know it and seek it consciously. Some are seeking it unconsciously. In our day-to-day life also, it is, if I want to be successful, the mind must learn to be quiet. A quiet mind produces a sharp intellect. Then only decisions will be right and rational. The mind is very disturbed. If I don't experience stillness for a few moments also, that mind is so disturbed. Decisions of that mind will not be proper. And so we find that spiritually and materially, both ways, stillness of the mind is very, very important skill actually. Nowadays when people teach so many skills to children, one of the main skills to be taught is how to make the mind still. If one learns that as a child, so many things will become easy. Nobody taught us stillness. Nobody taught us single pointedness. Nobody taught us doing one thing at a time. Today we have the other problem, where there is hyperactivity. So many children are so hyper. Very many reasons. I won't go into that, but that's why the need for stillness is much more today. So how do we get this stillness? This is a beautiful quote of Meher Baba. Fast mind is a sick mind. This is psychologically fast mind, which goes on chattering. A slow mind is a sound mind, where the thought flow, psychological judgments, thoughts are lesser. And a still mind is a divine mind. So a still mind has two aspects. While I am working, while I am in my day-to-day activities, a still mind does not mean a thoughtless mind. A still mind means a mind which is at peace with itself, which is conflict-free, which is able to be in the now. That is called a still mind. And in the state of meditation, that mind can let go of all thoughts and become silent. Both these are necessary. Stillness in action and stillness in meditation. And they complement each other. In fact, in the Gita, that's why the Lord gives the science of Karma Yoga first, 3rd chapter. And He defines the Karma Yogi there as somebody who is very active physically, very dynamic, very quiet mentally. And he gives a contrast there, that somebody who may have physically stopped doing many things, but mentally goes on imagining about sense enjoyments or having anxiety about various other things, mentally very restless. That person he calls, that person is actually a hypocrite. Mithyacharasya uchyate, he says. Meaning he has withdrawn from action, saying, I don't like to do all this, I will sit quietly. But mind is not still, mind is going on imagining. So body is still, but mind is restless. That's the quality of somebody who is an escapist or hypocrite. But somebody who is a karma yogi is very active, dynamic in the world outside, at the physical level. But the mind is very quiet. Meaning there is selflessness, there is no conflict. Mind is able to be in the now, deal with things as they come, feels very strong. That mind is a still mind. And somebody who cultivates that mind through karma yoga, only that person will be able to actually meditate and make the mind completely quiet. Nobody else can do that. Because as long as ego and selfishness is strong, stillness of the mind is not possible. In meditation, complete silence, not possible. So we come to this point that meditation is one of the ways to become still. This word meditation comes from this Latin word called medit, which means to heal. And meditation is something which heals both the body and the mind. Quietude of the mind itself is the greatest healing. Every night when we go to deep sleep, we get refreshed. Why? Because the mind has become quiet by the mechanism of nature. Even in Arjun's case, you see, his mind was so disturbed, and the knowledge that the Lord gave him made his mind conflict free. So he was able to meditate later on. He was able to also fight his war properly. So many things happened to him because he learned how to keep the mind quiet. So meditation can heal, quietude of the mind can heal. And at a deeper level, we say that meditation cures a person of all the 6 impurities: Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, and Matsarya. All 6 of them. And ultimately, it will destroy the ignorance of our own true self. That I don't know who I am. That stillness of the mind is not the ultimate goal of being thoughtless. That stillness of the mind is to know that my nature is that which is beyond the mind, which is Satchidananda, which is happiness, which is love. So it's not a blank mind which we are seeking. We are seeking the mind, we are seeking the transcendence of that mind. And I cannot transcend that mind till I know how to make that mind still and completely silent in meditation. So today we will see a few aspects of how to make this mind still. I found a nice acronym of meditation somewhere. I'll share that. So meditation exactly is the effortless awareness of my own divine nature. It is not blankness, thoughtlessness, shunya, nothingness. It is not that. Those are all states of the mind. And from that the mind again comes back. But when I become aware of my own nature as divinity, that I am something beyond the mind. Mind is a tool, like I have a bottle, I have a mic, I have a Mac, I have a phone, I have a mind. That state of being aware that I am totally different from the mind, and who am I, that knowledge, that state is actually called the 4th state of consciousness. It is beyond the waking, dream and deep sleep. Which is why we say that stillness will lead to that state. Because at the moment I am not able to be aware of that, even though it is there even right now. but my mind is very extrovert. So meditation actually is a state, it is not a word that I can't do meditation. I can be in meditation. And so we say that it is a state of consciousness. But popularly, people use that word also for practice. That practice is also called meditation. Technically, practice is called contemplation. And the state it will lead to, the transcendence of the mind, that state is called meditation. So the acronym of meditation is this: mind engaged in deep inquiry and total awareness, transcending its own nature. If I remember this acronym, I will never get confused about what meditation is supposed to be. But there are many other things which are being taught in the name of meditation. Some vision, some blankness, some thoughtlessness. Those are not, that's just a state of mind, it comes and goes. But that mind which is engaging in deep inquiry and being fully aware and silent, that's when it transcends its own nature. That is meditation. So, what is the preparation required for it? Sit in solitude. Why? Because when we start doing it in group, there is a lot of self-consciousness. Because typically when we start meditating, it is not going to be easy. One will feel sleepy. One of the biggest obstacles which comes is sleep. And the moment one feels sleepy, immediately one becomes aware. Did anybody see? Many things come in group meditation. It has its benefits also. But preferably try and do it in solitude. Sit on an asana because a lot of energy is generated in the body which needs to be conserved. In a comfortable posture. If you can't sit on the ground, one can sit on the chair also. Head, neck and spine in a straight line. And most important, with a positive attitude. Remove fear from the mind. Remove doubt from the mind. And remove disbelief from the mind. Fear that what will happen, remove that. Doubt that will I be able to control my mind, remove that. Disbelief that I am not made for meditation, remove that. Then what is the attitude? These are the most beautiful moments which I am attempting. They happen by grace of the Lord. Even to desire to meditate and be quiet is a great blessing. Not many even have it. So when we sit with that positive attitude, that when I learn to make my mind consciously quiet and still, happiness, love, success, all that will happen to me naturally. So with that positive attitude, let me sit. Today we will go through these 8 steps in contemplation. Beginning is preparation is done. After that is auto-suggestion. 2 auto-suggestions I should start with. One, for whatever is the duration, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I should tell myself, for the next 15 minutes, I am steady and still. If your duration is 15 minutes, say 15 minutes. For the next 15 minutes, I am steady and still. Second auto-suggestion is, I am alert, awake and quiet. Because whenever our mind becomes quiet, we fall asleep. So the mind does not know how to be alert and quiet both. It has to be taught. So this is second auto-suggestion. I will be alert, awake and quiet. Then I sit with my eyes closed, comfortable posture, all that which we said earlier. Bring the mind into the present. Be aware of whatever is happening around. If you like, focus on any one thing. Otherwise, generally be aware. Relax the whole body. What we are trying to do is draw the attention away from outside, take it within. That process of slipping in is what we are trying to do. So from past and future to the present, from present to the body, from the body to the breath, from the breath to the mind. So visualize a circle of white light here. Invoke your Ishtadevata or Guru and prostrate to them. Seek their grace and blessings. And then start with a mantra or any method which you use for concentration. Mantra is one of the best because it has vibrations, plus it is about a deity who has qualities, and it will invoke surrender. When the mantra is chanted, you can chant it slow, then you increase the speed, then make it again slow and make it silent. That way the mind will gradually get used to that chanting and it will not even fall asleep. Don't start with mental chanting. Slow and loud, fast and loud, slow and loud, and then mental chanting. Then we come to contemplate on the meaning of that mantra. Ultimately come to silence. These are 8 steps. And if we can practice these 8 steps every day, if all 8 are not possible, in the beginning one can start with just 2 or 3 till this present moment awareness, then slowly relaxation, then breath observation, keep adding one by one. And the person can experience that stillness in small doses. And the more you enjoy it, the duration also you will increase. So today I thought we will conclude with this small guided session where we can learn how to make the mind still. Go back to mantra chanting. Keep chanting the mantra. Close. Correct. Everything. The posture in which you are sitting, the feel of the chair, feel of the ground below your feet, smell, sound, the air also. Sometimes there is chillness. Everything. Just be fully aware of the now. See, the stillness as a goal is a conscious stillness, no? Not the stillness induced by sleep. 1. 2. It is happening rarely because I have not practiced it. One should thank the Lord that it is happening just like that. Otherwise, it is not easy even just like that to feel that quiet.
What age would you recommend to start? Like smaller children may not understand what to do.
So you
Or
need
do
on.
they need it more?
Yeah, so our understanding of children also has to be very clear. Children can't be quiet all the time. They need that for some time. After that they will play, they will be naughty, they will do everything. And at their level, maximum you can teach them till mantra chanting. Breath observation, sitting quietly, breath observation, chanting of the mantra, that can be done. Better it is before they get into meditation, they learn to do deep breathing, pranayam, yoga, and then get into meditation. Generally speaking, that will be the thing which will work better. There are some children who are having that much of sattva guna that they can sit quietly. No problem. There is no specific age group for this. Each person's temperament, depending on that, one has to take whichever steps applicable and keep going. The earlier one learns it, the better it is. Today, many schools also teach. Many people do the courses for yoga and pranayama, etc., for the children. Okay. So we have 15 minutes. Let us see. We can make our mind still for some time. So sit erect. The head, neck and the spine in a straight line. Place your feet firmly on the ground. Close your eyes gently. Come to a comfortable posture. Invoke the attitude of gratitude and positive feelings. By grace of the Lord, we are able to attempt stillness consciously. Fill your mind with enthusiasm that these 15 more minutes I will give my best, and I really look forward to making my mind still. Suggest to your mind mentally that for the next 15 minutes I am steady and still without any movement. A still body is important for a still mind. For the next 15 minutes I am steady and still without any movement. I am alert, awake and quiet. I am alert, awake and quiet. Second step, be aware of the simple happenings around you. Don't judge or think about it, just be aware. Be aware of your body. From the head to the toes, be fully aware of the body in whichever posture you are. Run through the whole body Scan through the whole body from the head to the toes and feel each and every part of the body. The head, the neck, shoulders, both the hands, the chest, stomach, navel, entire back, hips, thighs, knees, ankles, calf muscles, toes. The body is a tool that we have. Consciously being aware of each and every part with certain deep breathing will help to relax the body and quieten the mind. As you breathe slowly, steadily and deeply, with every inhalation, feel that the body is flooded with light and energy. With every exhalation, let go of any stress and strain and relax. Let your breathing be slow, steady and deep. Be aware of every inhalation and exhalation. If the mind wanders, bring it back to the breath. In the space between the two eyebrows or in your heart, visualize a circle of white light and invoke the form of your Sadguru or the Ishtadevata, the chosen form of the Lord. If you have neither, just focus on the light and understand it to be the Supreme. Visualize that you are in front of the Lord or the Sadguru or the Supreme. And you are invoking the grace that may the mind be calm and quiet. With all devotion, let us chant Guru Brahma in surrender to the Guru or the Lord. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. May the grace of the Sadguru, the Lord, lead us, guide us, and protect us. Invoke the auspicious form of Om. It is a single syllable indicating the truth. It is the supreme sound symbol of the Lord. It is a universal mantra, the essence of the entire Vedic knowledge, which tells us that our nature is divine. Invoke this auspicious form of Om. If you find the symbol difficult, just visualize A-U-M. Have the bhav that this is the symbol of the Lord. And as I repeat, please follow in the same speed and loudness. Om. Silence is pure consciousness. That is my true nature. I am that pure consciousness which is illumining the body, mind, and intellect. Just like silence is before Om, during Om, and after Om. Consciousness is before, during, and after the body, mind, intellect. That indestructible, imperishable consciousness, which is of the nature of love, happiness, and peace. That is my true nature. We invoke God's grace and blessings of the whole Guru Parampara that may we experience that consciousness by making our mind still. Be aware of your breath. Be aware of your body. And be aware of the happenings around you. We pray for the well-being of everyone. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Sarve Santu Niramayah. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Asato Ma Sadgamaya. Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Rub your palms, place them on the face, and gently open your eyes. So with that, we conclude today's session and also the series of talks which we have planned so far. I am Spiritual series of talks. We had 8 sessions, and I thank Nirjaji